Forex is a very volatile and very uncertain market. So you cannot afford to trade when you are broke and desperate for money, because it will take away your money. Speaking from facts, I've been there, done that, and I'm telling you, it will not help you in any way. When you trade and you are broke and you are desperately in need of money, let's say you use your rent money or your last card or your school fees to trade, and you lose that money, the negative consequences that will follow behind. You will be angry with yourself. You will be guilty. You might even wake up and you will not want to eat. Depression has started kicking in. Why? Because you went to use your last card. You went to use your last money that you could not afford to lose, because you could have done something else now. You could have spent the money, but you went to trade. Now you won't even want to define your loss when it comes to trading. Like, when I mean define your loss, you won't want to accept the fact that you can lose that money because you are broke. In your head, you know that you cannot afford to lose this money, and you went to use this money to trade. And the proper way to trade is that you should define your loss even before entering the trade. But this time around, in your head is already distorting the fact that I'm not going to lose this money. I cannot even lose this money. I'm only looking at the winning side. Meanwhile, this is a game of probabilities. You should look at both sides. This is like crossing a road. Even if you are going to the right direction, you also look at the left direction if a car is coming. But you are too broke and desperately in need of money, so you won't want to accept in your head that money can be lost. You can lose that money, so you will not define and you enter a trade risky without looking left and right. And then when you lose that money, what else? What can you use to trade? Now also, when you are broke and desperately in need of money, I'm telling you, you'll be more focused on the monetary value of that trade. What do I mean by monetary value of that trade? Is that, let's say you have $100, you enter the trade, you are only looking at how much that trade is going to pay you. How much? I want $200 from this trade. And that's a bad habit when it comes to trading. Why did I say so? Because the proper way to trade and the proper way to be a trader is for you to be focused on the market behavior, not the monetary value. But because you are too broke and desperately in need of money, you only care about how much that trade is willing to pay you, how much you are going to get from that trade, not what the market is doing, not what the market behavior is doing. When you are broke and desperately in need of money, you'll be too careful with your money. Now, what do I mean by, yes, you should be careful with your money, but this carefulness is a different ball game. When it comes to Forex trading, it's a different ball game. Now, when I mean you'll be too careful with your money, is that you'll be overly analyzing a chart. Do you understand? You'll be very careful in entering that trade, and by being careful, I'm telling you, an opportunity might miss you. An entry is like key when it comes to trading, and before you realize that opportunity was a good, because you can't afford to lose that money, so you'll be extremely careful. You know that that's your last card. You know that that's your rent money. You know that this is your feeding money, so you'll be very careful. You'll be too careful that an opportunity will present itself and you won't be able to recognize that opportunity, and before you recognize that opportunity, the opportunity has gone, and you want to enter because it was an opportunity, and before you know, you entered it wrongly, late, because you are too broke and desperately in need of money. And in your head, like, you could not be focused. You are already scared. Like, fear is another factor. You will not even trade and you should trade actually fearlessly. But when you are broke and too desperate for money, you will be scared of losing that money. So fear will be in your mind and you won't be able to analyze the charts properly. When you are broke and desperately in need of money, you will not want to accept responsibility. What do I mean by that? Now, you might even be right. Your analysis in your head, your analysis might be right. Everything might be proper, and then you lose that money in that trade. Now you shift the blame to the market. You say, after all, it's the market, because they say it's a game of probabilities. You just shift the blame to the market, forgetting that the market is always right. But because you are too broke and desperately in need of money, you don't want to accept that responsibility, that it was your error. You were broke, you didn't focus, you didn't do what you were supposed to do. So it's like you trying to avoid the fact that you know that you are going to be angry, you know that you are going to feel guilty, So instead, you shift the blame to the market and be like, it was the market's fault. The market is always right, but you were too broke and desperately in need of money for you to accept that responsibility. When you are broke, see, even if you are in a winning trade, even when you are in a winning trade, your brokenness and your desperation will affect that your winning trade. How? Because you won't let your wins run. The fear of the market taking your profits will not let you rest. Now you are in a winning trade. Let's say you are in a winning trade and your target is like $100. You will not be patient for that market to get to that $100. When it gets to $20 and it falls back to $10, it gets to $40, falls back to $20, you will be scared. You will feel like the market is going to take away your profits, and you will not let your wins run, and you go out of that market early, too early. You won't even patiently wait for what you deserve because you are too broke and desperately in need of money. Your state of mind as of then was not for trading. It was just for desperation, just for the need of money. When you are broke, stay away from the market. That's the best way to save yourself some stress and some emotional damages. This one is it might even go to a physical damage because you might be depressed. You'll be angry with the people around you, be breaking things. Imagine you are broke and desperately in need of money and you went to throw away your school fees or your rent money. Will your landlord want to understand? Would your school want to understand? So when you are broke and desperately in need of money, honestly, I've been there, done that. Stay away from the market so you get back your mental health in check before you trade. At that moment,